Let's talk about dark trading, because some exchanges are upset about the rules. They claim MiFID won't in practice limit dark trading as intended. Do you see any tweaks coming that'll satisfy those exchange concerns?
Well, as you rightly say, what we're doing and what we're trying to achieve is MiFID is moving more trading into the lit market, is trying to reduce the dark part. Obviously, as a regulator, you always monitor closely how that is implemented. If we see any risks of unintended consequences, or when that objective is not reached, we will subsequently adjust the requirements. We have done it recently, where there was some concern about the so-called SI regime being basically used
systematic internalizers.
Yes, indeed. Yes. Was used or would be used for multilateral trading, and there we have closed the loophole together with the European Commission.
So there could be limits on these new types of dark trading venues? There could be limits?
Well, in general, what we achieve and trying to achieve with MiFID II is bringing more trades to the lit market. If we see that that objective is not reached, we will adjust, and we will look in our toolbox how to adjust. We do it with a Q&A, or maybe with a guideline, or maybe even with a change in the technical standard.
Some of the concerns are the time. It's running out. January the 3rd, it's right there. Are you going to issue guidance on how national authorities should act towards market participants that aren't fully MiFID ready on January the 3rd?
Well, Mark, the MiFID II goes back to 2014. It was agreed in 2014, and so the legal text is already available for 3.5 years. We suggested to the politicians to extend the timeline with another year, but it's also very important is that we now stick to that timeline. And also from a consideration of a level playing field, when you postpone the deadline, what we have done, it's subsequently very important to stick to that deadline.
You're going to collect, you and other authorities, oceans of new data from MiFID II. What are you going to do with that data? How do you plan to use it?
Well, it varies a lot. Some of these data we need to use to determine, for example, which kind of trades might still be exempted from transparency obligations. A lot of the data will be collected at a national level, and there it will be used by the national regulators to do their market abuse investigations. And MiFID will expand very much the data available beyond, let's say, equity, beyond shares, because we know that also in these parts of the markets there's the risk of market abuse.